What's up guys, welcome to Superwise. I'm John and I wanted to talk about this news that's pretty big, yet it flew under the radar and no one's really talking about it. So obviously in 2022 we have Matt Reeves' The Batman, but we also have that HBO Max spin-off series focusing on Gotham PD, the police department of Gotham City. And all we really know about the spin-off is that it's going to be focusing on a corrupt cop fighting for his soul. And so a lot of people have been wondering, me included, who will this corrupt cop be? Will it be Jim Gordon in his early years during the first year of Batman? Or will it just be a rando cop fighting for his soul? Well, now we have semi-confirmation on who it is. Apparently the show will focus on Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon. This news comes to us from Kevin Smith, who has worked in Hollywood before. He has some connections. This is not confirmed. Joe Barton, the showrunner, has not confirmed any of this, but this is what we have right now. Kevin Smith apparently talked to a producer who's working for Matt Reeves, and this producer said that this show is not really about Gotham Central. It's more like the James Gordon show, and Matt Reeves and company are making sure that they're not calling the show Gotham Central because the show is more of a Jim Gordon show and more of a spin-off from the movie. And it makes sense because when the Batman wrapped filming, Jeffrey Wright took to Twitter and said Gordon out for now, hinting that he's going to be returning. Naturally, Gordon is a big Batman character, probably coming back for a sequel if it ever happens, but I always assumed that the lead in this Gotham Central show would be Gordon because Gordon is the good guy. He's the main police officer that supports Batman. Jeffrey Wright is such a good actor. He looks like Commissioner Gordon, and I think he's going to crush it in the role. And if we get a full show with him in the lead, I'm down because the show can truly flesh out the character. We can get in the mind of Commissioner Gordon, we can understand his motivations, where he's coming from. I think it's a good idea. What's interesting, however, is the premise. If this corrupt cop is Jim Gordon fighting for his soul, I think that's super fascinating. How maybe he's on the dark side of the police force and he knows what he's doing is wrong and he should stop it. Or how he's like on the sidelines. He sees the corrupt cops and he knows it's not the right thing to do, but he just stays quiet. I think that's an interesting premise. So I'm looking forward to seeing this show. I think it'd be really cool if Robert Pattinson showed up, since this is a prequel taking place during Batman's first year. I think it'd be cool for Jim Gordon to see Batman in the shadows as like this monster beating up people. Then in the finale, have Robert Pattinson's Batman fully show up and befriend Jim Gordon, maybe have Bruce Wayne show up in an episode or two. I think it'd be really cool. But in other news, let's talk about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, me included, a lot of people have been saying Shang-Chi, but apparently the correct pronunciation is Shang-Chi, so Shang-Chi it is. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some Shang-Chi because I just really like that trailer. It was so cool, so dope. The action scenes look amazing. I really do want to see this. I also found out today that Bill Pope, who was the cinematographer on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, he's doing this movie, and that's just great. He's part of the reason why this movie looks spectacular, so that's just awesome. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the Mandarin, played by Tony Leung, the real Mandarin, and his 10 rings. In the trailer, we see that the Mandarin is not wearing the comic-accurate 10 rings. It's a new reinterpretation of the rings, where Mandarin wears the rings on his arms instead of on his fingers. And I actually like the look. It's not comic-accurate, but I think it's a cool reinvention of the rings. But anyway, some fans are questioning the updated 10 rings in this movie because in the comics, the 10 rings all have their individual powers. Really cool. But in this trailer, it seems like the Mandarin's rings only have one power, and that's that they just radiate blue energy. And the new Hasbro toys that have been revealed to the public show that the Mandarin's new 10 rings don't have that classic comic book power. It seems like they only radiate blue energy. In one of the toy shots, you can see that the Mandarin can shoot literal rings from this blue energy. It's really interesting. I don't know if I like it though, because in the comics, the Mandarin rings are so freaking cool. They all have their own powers. They're so unique and different from each other. But in this movie, it seems like it's just going to be one universal power, nothing really special, just blue energy. Maybe Marvel Studios didn't want the OG Mandarin rings to look like the Infinity Stones when they unleashed their powers. I don't know, but if the Mandarin rings in this movie are just blue energy, I think that's kind of lame. You know, that sort of takes away from the specialness of the comic book Mandarin rings. Maybe the trailer is hiding the ring's true power, who knows. That's just what I got from these toys, and that's what I wanted to inform you guys about. But tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of the Mandarin's new power set in the movie? What do you think of the reinvention of the rings? Do you like them? I'm very much looking forward to seeing this movie, and let's just wait and see about the Mandarin. So please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subbed already. I'd love to have you here. You'd be supporting the Superwise family. It'd be greatly appreciated. It'd be an honor to have you here. So subscribe. That will be all for me. And remember my catchphrase, guys. Stay Superwise.